I was actually working for an electromagnetic compatibility company in Austin, Texas, and we had a great job, loved what we did. And I kept being approached by Electronic Arts about potentially joining the Origin studio. And I wasn't, at the time, so excited about just another, packaged goods, stamp out a game, start a new game. So they brought me over and they showed me this, Ultima Online, this franchise they wanted to build and grow. And it was, massively multiplayer around the world, continuous business. You try to grow it. You had network operating centers around the world. You had to negotiate with ISPs. You had a live team going on. You had events. You had constant communication with 250,000, players around the world. That sounded a lot different than a video game. And so, I bit, and we've never looked back, and we grew that, and to the extent that Amy Jo Kim, Mark Zuckerberg, the ones that got into social media kind of after that, they followed Ultima Online. They called us. They asked. They came and visited us. What do you do in social media? How do you handle this stuff? So this was the beginning of social media, AOL, Ultima Online. That was kind of the growth of massively online content. Social media, social crowds, they have a different behavior. You'll see mob mentalities. You'll see vocal minorities take over the entire site. And so there would be instances where somebody didn't like something happening in the game, the change we made. So next thing you know, that person's writing a letter to Larry Probst. They're flying in from England to debate with us on why are we making these changes. So you would see these small groups of one voice or a small group of well less than 1% of the community having an argument or making a case, and people overreacting or people acting too much. And so you had to learn how to say, okay, how do I deal with this? How do I not let my bosses panic when they get a letter from a Navy veteran who said I'm ruining his life? He wrote to Larry Probst. Larry goes, what are we going to do about this? And I go, Larry, don't worry about it. We get these all the time. And we actually brought that person into one of our beta tests and with our live team. And so we started bringing in customers, especially the ones that had a large voice. And so they would work with our dev team. And by the time we worked through the beta and the testing on it, and they understood why we're making those changes, I will say he subsequently wrote back to Larry Probst apologizing and saying that we were doing great things. And so you learned how to work with these vocal minorities. But we would never have known until we get to this point where everybody's got a cell phone, everybody's got a voice, they can connect. The big boys, Facebook and such, they're trying to, rein this in or try to figure out what to do. So it's an exciting time. We shouldn't look at it as this is good or evil. It's just evolution, and how do we learn and how quickly do we adapt? You got your big hubs. You've got your Los Angeles, your San Francisco, your Seattle, your New York, some in Texas. But from a let's call it the smaller mid-major tech game areas, us in Baltimore grew faster than anybody percentage-wise. So we're growing in those areas. And when I moved back from Austin, Texas, home, to help build Tiburon, my desire was to build something great, and so there's a lot of jobs for our young people. Jobs maybe that I didn't have, that I had to go to Austin to find. And so we found that our niche was in education and helping the Electronic Arts grow, helping the Iron Galaxies get built here, helping the next new startups happen, helping drive those numbers that the ESA says is happening, and also bringing a lot of pride back to the Nicholson School of Communication and Media, back to UCF. And so one day when we're not running this place, hopefully we're coming back and it's bigger and better than ever.